The problem was I had such a bad driving record. I knew that I wasn't eligible to drive a company vehicle.
I'm totally kidding. Don't do it. Brad, don't do it. Don't do it.
And I knew nothing about Idaho except potatoes.
Right? We need to be like in the selective Hall of Fame for like state opening. Husband, father, outdoorsman, new business extraordinaire, and man with incredible hair. Brad Kenney, it's good to see you, man. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Brian. I appreciate it.
So we didn't get to work together, but I think you started your career at Auto Owners, right?
I did.
Is that how you got into this industry?
I did, actually. Funny story is I really didn't know what I was going to do in college. I would say, I think it was probably my sophomore year. My grandmother worked at Auto Owners, and she was an HR.
No kidding.
She was an HR manager, and she pulled me in the office and had me sit down with with management and talk to me about a career in insurance. And I don't even remember what they said, but I pleased my grandma. And but anyway, I mean, first right out of college, I sent an application to Auto Owners Insurance. My grandma had since retired, and I was hired right away.
Wow.
Was offered a position in underwriting or claims, and I ended up taking underwriting.
Wow.
And I hired in as a life underwriter.
Dude, your grandma was she a lifer? She's a lifer at Auto Owners?
She was. She retired.
You work for Cincinnati and Selective. She'd be so disappointed in you right now, Brett.
I remember the day I resigned from Auto Owners and went to Cincinnati, and she was upset with me.
Really? Yeah. Oh, I was just kidding.
She, I don't think she talked to me for about 2 weeks.
So, we were just chatting before we started, and it's kind of the afternoon, but this morning, Gene Haas, who's the RVP over at Auto Owners, was here, and he was kind of walking me through everything AO, his start, and you mentioned you guys worked together. What a small world.
We worked in the Lansing branch together. We were servicing Michigan agents. But yeah, he was an underwriter. He sat right behind me, and we were desk underwriters together.
Dude,
great guy.
Dude, Gene would have smoked you in underwriting.
He was good. He was good. He'd get his work done, and then he'd ask for more every day.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a machine.
I'm honestly, like, when it comes to claims and underwriting, I've never done either. I'm in awe of those people.
Yeah.
Because the focused and detailed, like the mental acuity to stay focused on it. Yeah. I mean, you know me, Marty Koch, my coworker. Yeah. I mean, staying focused on a task is not our number one thing, like on personality profiles. Yeah. So you were Auto Owners and you were an underwriter. How long were you in that role?
I started out as a life underwriter, did that for about 2 years.
Okay.
And, then went over to the P&C side, and I was a personal lines underwriter for a year, and then moved over to commercial and was there for about 4 years. And I knew I wanted to be a marketing field underwriter.
Okay.
Was kind of working towards that. Funny story, I'm going to be really vulnerable here, but they approached me 5 years in, and they were like, hey, we have a territory for you. Would you like to be a field rep? And I was totally excited. And I told them I had to think about it, and I'd let them know the next day. Well, the problem is I had such a bad driving record. I knew that I wasn't eligible to drive a company vehicle. And so I had to go back to them and tell them that. And it was hard.
So you had to tell them, like, hey, I have too many points.
I was like, hey, I have too many violations. I have to sit and wait a while.
Well, we drove to Salt Lake once, so I believe this story 100%.
I remember that. Right? Yeah.
I remember thinking, this dude can do it. This is years ago.
I know.
So
we're talking like 8 to 10 years ago.
This is like 1985, right? Like, this is a million years ago. But I remember thinking, this dude's able to write a lot of emails driving on the freeway at 80 miles an hour. So
I'm not proud of that. Brian.
I'm not looking down on you. The last time I was pulled over was here on the freeway in town.
Yeah.
The police officer, you know how they typically come and say, okay, you can go in, you can, dispute this ticket, or you can do this, or you can do that. They give you a little courtesy walkthrough.
Yeah.
He walks up after he's got my information. Of course, he looks at how many tickets I have, and it's like, I might be Brad Kenney level, okay?
Okay.
And he says to me, do you need me to go over this? And I told him, this isn't my first rodeo.
Yeah.
And he just handed it to me and he walked away. So on occasion I go faster than I should. Nothing else besides that. But
well, I've gotten better over the years.
so how old were you when they offered you this role that you couldn't take?
So I probably was 26 maybe.
Dang,
Yeah.
okay.
So I had to wait a year. I waited a year, and then they offered me a South Bend, Indiana territory.
Ooh.
And that's kind of where things like took off for me.
Really?
Like I really owned it, and it was about managing a territory and building it, and I got really competitive at it. So
South Bend, Indiana, how long were you there?
I was there 2 years, and that's when they approached me about Idaho.
Really?
And I remember trying to talk my wife into Idaho, and I knew nothing about Idaho except potatoes. You
Right.
know? And everyone I would talk to would say, "Oh, we hear it's beautiful there," but that's all I heard.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I mean, I had a weekend to find a house here, and they were kind of like, "Hey, go out there for a couple years, and you can come back and be a manager."
Right.
And I was like, "Okay, I can handle this." And so we went out there, and I grew that territory. I think we had 26 agencies, and we were doing a lot of. We were writing like $1 million a month in business, and it was going really good. And that's when Cincinnati approached me.
So you were at Auto Owners, kicking butt, then approached by Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So before we move on, I just want to make a quick note. Good things come from South Bend, Indiana. You came from South Bend, Indiana, and so did Mayor Pete Buttigieg.
There you go.
I don't know if you know who that is.
I do.
Okay. It's just coincidence. I don't know.
Okay.
So you're in Idaho. You're at Auto Owners, which is, dude, Auto Owners is a kick butt market. They have competitive pricing. There's a lot of agencies that are built on Auto Owners in our area. But then you went to Cincinnati. Is that a little scary to go to a different carrier?
Oh, totally. And Auto Owners is a totally different model in Cincinnati.
Okay.
Auto Owners has a lot of agencies. Cincinnati didn't at the time, very franchise valued. And I was thinking to myself, man, I'm not going to have to work as hard. I only got to service 8 agencies. And so, but you're so involved in those agencies. And it was total sticker shock, but honestly, like it was the best thing for me. And did that for 14 years, grew the state. I want to say we went from 20 million to 60 million in volume.
Dang.
When I left, I think we were the second most profitable state in the company. So,
Dude, well, I just remember when I showed up in 2010,
yeah,
the guy named Jay Briette was our sales manager at the time.
yeah,
Get to know Brad Kenney really well.
Yeah.
That's what he said, because, Hartwell and Cincinnati have done so much together for a long time that I remember him very enthusiastic about the relationship we have with you guys.
yeah. Great company.
You kicked the butt with Cincinnati, and I remember hearing, I forget if it was my dad or Spencer Monk or who it was on our team saying, dude, big news, Brad Kenney isn't at Cincinnati. And I remember thinking, what the heck? It's almost like when you hear like Kevin Durant got traded, you're just like, okay, stop, we got to hear the story. So going to Selective, I remember you came in with some of the folks, Tracy and Steve, and met at our office, and you said, hey, I really think this will work, guys, and everything you said has been true. Auto Owners, Cincinnati, and Selective are all good companies. What kind of things have you seen that are similar, maybe some differences?
Selective, that was the big thing out here. Like, I know no one knew of Selective. Mm-hmm. I knew of Selective from the Midwest, back east. They were a strong competitor of Cincinnati. Same model, field model with field authority. And so I was very concerned with selling that to my agents that I'd worked with so long. We had no name recognition here. And so, but I really felt like it could work. I felt like I had the relationships, and, Selective really leaned on me to build the state, and it was an attractive opportunity for me to build it the way I wanted to. But yeah, I hired with Selective in March of 22, and we launched Idaho in October of 22. So it's going on 3 years, and it's been tremendous. It's been very calculated, very strategic, forecasting like how we want it to look, how we want to build it, the foundation. And Selective has been great to work with. I mean, they've given me the resources and the tools to get it done.
Dang.
So
I mean, any other detail? I mean, you've had a lot of success at Selective.
Yeah.
Any other details you want to share from that?
No, I mean, we're just exceeding expectations, and I'm excited. I have great people that I work with. I mean, you've met them. And I have a great renewal team and a small business underwriter and a rater. And, you know, I mean, I've had great success, but I do owe it to all them. They've been great to work with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
If you, like, what's important to you as I guess I think of your title as new business underwriter.
Yeah.
Right? But what's important to you when you look at building a state and finding the right agencies and placing the right business?
You know, for me, it's finding the people that are going to partner with you. And I mean, I worked with your dad for years. I've worked with you for probably 8 to 10 years. You know, I've worked with guys started from the beginning and now have great books of business. And so for me, I mean, it's just the partnership.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the relationship and being there and, you know, showing up when I need to. And it's about being responsive and following through and doing what you say you're going to do. In the beginning of my career, I had an executive pull me in his office and he was talking to me about what I wanted to do. And he said this to me. He said, anyone can be a book underwriter. Anyone can follow the guidelines and rules. What kind of underwriter are you going to be? And so that stuck with me. And for me, it was like, it was using the guidelines, but operating in the gray, you know, looking at an account to see how I can make it work, you know, being there for an agent when he needs something, building that camaraderie and taking care of the people that took care of me.
Right.
But yeah, it's operating in the gray. It's taking some risk, you know. I mean, I'll sit here and say that I have made mistakes over the years and I've had to adjust, but I've built successful territories, profitable territories, and, you know, at times making a decision or being uncomfortable or being okay being uncomfortable at times, stuff like that. So I think that's what makes a good underwriter. Because again, anyone can just follow the rules. It's like, how are you going to be different?
Right, right.
So,
I remember years ago, you had given us a great proposal on a policy that we wrote. But I called to say, dude, is this one ready to go? And you said, well, this is years ago. And you were like, we're kind of moving forward, hoping we get, you know, permission later. But I think we're good. And I thought, my man, you know, we can't wait all the time. You know, you have to have your own discernment and judgment. Any professional does. Yeah. Because you can't grow something by waiting around for people to give you every single step along the way.
Yeah. And that's something great that, I mean, Cincinnati did it, Selective did it, just gave me the authority to make decisions in the field. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, who wants to sit there and call Denver or Seattle to try to get a decision when you got someone local? Yeah. And I think that speaks volume. And they know the market and they know the competitors.
Right, right. So. Well, here's a question for you. Go ahead and spill the tea on this one. Who are your most difficult agents to work with? Go ahead and name some names for the camera. You got it, dude. You got this. No, I'm totally kidding. No. I'm totally kidding. Don't do it. Brad, don't do it. Don't do it. As you look at the broker side and the carrier side, like what things have you thought like, hey, like the broker world looks kind of appealing in this way, but the company side's got its perks too.
Yeah, I mean, company side's got more stability. Obviously, I think if I could have done it all over again, I'd be on the broker side, knowing what I know now. But the company side has been good to me. I've done well, and I'm content. So yeah.
What advice would you give like a young professional on the carrier side looking to become a Brad Kenney somewhere in the U.S. and maybe take those next steps in their career?
I mean, I would say find ways to differentiate yourself. I mean, this is a service industry, and how are you going to be different? Yeah. You know, it's picking up the phone all the time. It's being responsive. You know, when someone calls Friday at 5:00 and they got an issue, like help them out. Right. You know, it's things like that go a long way to brokers and agents. And I think when push comes to shove, they're going to push stuff your way.
Yeah.
They're going to give you first look. And I think, again, it's the partnership at the end of the day, and it's the relationship.
Yeah. Well, I love the way you've handled things. I love the way your team is handling that relationship. I will always have a mark on myself, a positive memory of meeting Steve and Tracy and having them talk about the Nuggets, because they're Denver guys, right?
Yeah. And you are too, aren't you?
Well, I like the Nuggets a lot because I kind of like that underdog team. You know, I like the NBA, but I like underdogs. And at the time, the Nuggets hadn't won a championship. And so, they were hyping up Jamal Murray and Jokic, and I was just so excited. So, last time Steve came into town, he was wearing his Nuggets socks, and I was like, my man. So I was actually, every time the playoffs come on, I kind of think of them for just a second, when the Nuggets are playing. So when you're not doing insurance, what's fun for you?
Honestly, it's just spending time with my family. I mean, I got teenagers right now. I'm trying to spend as much time as I can right now, even though they don't want that. I got a son that's going off to BSU in the fall.
Okay.
And so, I want to spend that this summer with him a lot. We're doing some trips together and, that and just going to the mountains and spending time at our place up there.
So you're an outdoors guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you spend a lot of time in McCall. What do you like most about McCall?
Oh, man, the beaches, the water. The mountains, we'll backpack or hike or go to a hot spring, something like that.
You a boat guy? You spend time on the water?
I do spend time on the water. I don't have a boat yet. That's the next purchase, hopefully.
My wife and kids want to be out on boats all the time. And I'm like, somehow for me, like the shakiness of it and the exhaust, I'm like, this isn't my thing. No. I'm like, I don't know.
And it looks like a lot of work, doesn't it?
No kidding.
Yeah.
Brad,
so.
I can't fill out accord forms most of the time. I can much less fix a boat. Come on. If you had to look at like podcasts or YouTube channels or books you've read, like what has inspired you or what have you learned from reading and listening to?
I mean, wow. I listen to a lot of financial stuff.
Okay.
So, and I read books for financial stuff, really just trying to grow retirement, grow wealth, and I enjoy that stuff. Okay. So, yeah.
Dude, hit us with some stock tips. Come on.
I don't know.
May of 25, baby.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you like the stock market? Are you a crypto guy?
I've started to dip into crypto now, but I mainly stocks, and now I'm at a point where I'm starting to look into like syndications and joint venture stuff and private equity things. So,
dude, you're balling.
Trying.
Is there like, so you have financial stuff, you got like, when I think of financial, I think of like mutual funds and stocks.
Yeah. That's
different from crypto. What's syndicate or whatever you just mentioned?
So basically, like syndications for like real estate. So purchasing a group coming together to purchase multifamily property, renovate it, hold on to it, increase rents, and then sell it maybe in 3 to 5 years.
So you chip in 50 or 100 grand, and so do 50 other guys.
Yeah.
And somebody says, I'm going to go flip apartment complexes in Nevada or something like that.
Yeah. And so they put together a plan and they forecast it, and you can see returns anywhere from 16 to 20%.
Right.
So yeah.
You ever think to yourself, like, they better have a good policy?
Oh yeah.
Doesn't burn down?
Oh yeah.
You got to.
Or stay out of those weather states and all that stuff. Yeah.
What else is going on in life? Like what have we missed?
Launching a state is huge. And it's a big undertaking, and I honestly questioned it many times. That first year or two is so intense, and it was tough. But I feel like things are moving. We've built the machine, and now it's running, and now it's maintaining.
Okay.
So, but it's going really well. I mean, we're exceeding all expectations, putting up numbers that are astronomical. So it's been great.
You need to be like in the selective Hall of Fame for like state opening. Yeah. Wait, what states you all in? You in Washington now?
We are in Washington.
But not Oregon?
Yeah.
Oregon too?
Yep.
Okay. California anytime soon?
No, not California.
Dude, don't you dare leave and take over California as the main guy.
That's a tough state.
That's a tough state. Yeah, I remember like talking to you in Sun Valley when we did our initial meeting, and then also observing you when you came into our office with Selective, and thinking, Brad might be a pinch stressed right now. Just a little bit, nothing crazy, right? But just thinking like, like they're going into meetings wondering if it'll work. Now it would,
totally.
but you weren't 100% sure at the time, right?
No, totally. I mean, I was out of the game from March till October. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm not touching base with my agents. Like, they're going elsewhere because I'm not there anymore. And so I was worried, obviously, they're going to develop new relationships, so it was constantly touching base with people, going out to lunch every now and then, but just letting them know, hey, I'm still here. This is what we're doing. This is what we're going to do. And so, that was nerve-wracking. I didn't like the whole 6 months I was out of it. It was nice. Yeah. It was like the calm before the storm.
Right.
It was all the preparation building up. And Selective was great. I mean, we looked at, they had their thing and how they wanted to approach it. And they shifted for me and made some changes to Idaho, different than any state we took. And so just the way they brought out with forms and everything, they made some changes that I was pushing for, and I was grateful for that.
So that like 6 months.
Yeah.
Would you say that was the hardest time, or was it harder when you got started and you were receiving submissions?
It was a different stress.
Okay.
It was, when it launched, it was like drinking through a fire hose.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just coming at me, and it still comes at me hard every now and then. But it's been so rewarding, and Selective's compensation was great. And so it just made it all worth it. And, we're continuing to add people to our team, and it just keeps growing.
Well, you've definitely been the right fit, because I remember hearing like the plan that Selective had was to find the best new business underwriter in any state, steal them, and then have them dominate. Yeah. And I've told that story, maybe 50 times to different people, saying, here's who Brad Kenney is. Here's what's happened. The success is right there. I know our team, we had 1 week where I think I've seen the value of getting to help oversee a sales team. Yeah. And I want to cheer for our sales team when they write new business more than when I get a new account, when I write an account.
Right.
So when your team knows that, they tell you, hey, I just got this account with Selective. It was $100,000 or whatever. And you're just like, yes, like you cheer for them. And so like you have this community built. So 1 week, I want to say we had like 3 or 4 guys that were all like, hey, I just wrote this account with Selective and Brad. I'm like, dude, we're putting a lot of business with Brad right now.
You are. So, you guys are doing great.
I reached out to, I think it was Spencer, and I'm like, dude, we're kicking butt. And then he kind of shared some more details, and I'm like, oh, well, I feel like my anecdotal evidence is true.
And definitely, you have a couple wins in your office and it spreads.
Yeah.
And it creates momentum.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Well, one thing I told our team recently, one of our younger producers came in looking at a cabinet shop.
Yeah.
I said, here's the deal. I don't know if Brad can do a cabinet shop in McCall, but here's what I want you to do. Call him and say, cabinet shop McCall, doing this. You know some stuff about vent systems or sprinklers or whatever. He'll be able to tell you no quickly. And that way he doesn't say, well, send us a submission. We'll look at it. We'll think. Right. Getting shut down isn't him being rude. That's him saving your time and his.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want to do is fill out like a giant supplemental application if you don't have to. Well, he told me, I already have the supplemental application filled out. Okay, so he's already doing the work.
Yeah.
But it is fun to have a cool, profitable, healthy working relationship that can continue for a long time.
For sure.
Any advice you would give to us agents? This is all you producers out there. Advice you want to give to agents about treating their new business underwriters well?
Oh, man. No, I think it's just honestly following through with what you say you're going to do, and a lot of them are great with that. But I think to a degree we both stick our necks out for each other and hope that the cards fall that way. Sometimes they don't, and I think we both learn like who to trust and who not to. And I think it's all about reputation. It's about your word. Right. If you say you're going to do something, follow through with it.
Right.
And it works that way with me. I mean, I have to do the same. If I'm going to say I'm going to show up, I need to show up.
Right.
So I think that's what sets you apart. And, I just try to outwork my competitors and hopefully win at the end of the day.
Well, you've done an exceptional job for us. Yeah. And I know you have for your other agencies as well. Selective, auto owners, Cincinnati and Selective have all benefited from your efforts. So, Brad, thank you for being a part of our insurance industry in Idaho. I'm glad you left. I'm glad you could talk your wife into leaving beautiful South Bend, Indiana to come to Idaho.
Thanks, Brian.
Brad, thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it.
Great. Thank you.